Humans, the cardboard, we have huge news coming out this morning. I actually thought this would be tomorrow morning. I don't know what the confusion was, maybe just time zones and stuff. I thought the OCG live stream where they reveal, 10 plus cards from Supreme Darkness was going to be tonight into tomorrow, not last night into today. But that's where we're at. Sorry about that. That's a mix-up there if anybody was waiting for tomorrow. At least it's here early. Merry Christmas. But anyway... we have some interesting things in news. I don't know if there's more stuff to get revealed, but I do have to leave soon, so I'm going to cover what I can here that's at least translated so far, and if there's anything that gets translated later in the day, I will obviously do that then, later when I get back. But for right now, let's cover what we have. There's some big stuff. So first, the TCG this morning announces Maze of the Master. This is the next Maze set. They've done 2 straight in the last 2 years. They've been pretty interesting sets. I don't want to say they're like bangers for sure, but there's been some cool stuff in them. And probably on purpose here, there's some pretty, we'll say less than clear pictures here to show off. I think this is probably on purpose. If I remember correctly, last year they revealed the artwork for this, and then we were like, oh, so there's Flame Swordsman support, right? And everybody knew immediately that Flame Swordsman was getting support. We also had confirmation that all of the Animation Chronicle from the year prior, which I think is still the case here based on some of these artworks here. I think has some of the Performa Pal cards. I think looks like artwork there. There's going to be some TCG exclusives in here. We have no idea what that would be, but they've done some anime-like stuff there. They did the what's it called? The Gate Guardian support 2 years ago. They did Flame Swordsman last year, I believe. These are the sets they've been putting him in. So I do expect some kind of anime-related, smaller side archetype that is cool, interesting to see. I think Magnawares are the type of archetype that could be in here. That would be amazing. Red Eyes, maybe Red Eyes a little too cool, but whatever, stuff like that. We can't tell from the artwork what it could be, but that's just cool to see. So yeah, we'll just have to keep an eye on that, and I'll keep you up to date with any more news that comes there. Now for the big stuff, which is this new the new reveals from the actual live stream here. We'll start with the baby stuff before we get into the meat and potatoes, which is Gladiator Beast support. Let's start with the new Trick or Treat archetype. Cute, Halloween archetype. Almost reminds me of a Live Twin type art the main deck Live Twins. This is Hollow, the Great Spirit of Tricks. Cool artwork, though. I love the colors. Very, very fall. Very cool. Level 4, Dark Fiend. 0/0. You can only use the first and second effect once per turn. If this card is normal or special, you can make your opponent choose one of these effects to apply. That's not normally a good thing. You must control this face-up card to activate and resolve this effect. This card gains 800 attack for each fiend in your graveyard, or inflict a 500 damage to your opponent for each fiend monster in your graveyard. I would guess most of the time your opponent's going to just give her the attack. You don't want to take damage, especially not going in a time or anything, but sure. If this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can send one monster your opponent controls to the graveyard. Yeah, this card's just straight up not good. What? This card actually just doesn't do really anything, and letting your opponent pick is brutal. But both effects are underwhelming, so it's instead of pick your poison, it's pick your flowers. You know what I mean? You're not going to mind either, really. Here's the other guy. He's a little zombie dude. Again, I love the artwork. The artwork's really cool and fun for them. I wonder if they would ever fully expand an archetype like this. Every year, new Trick or Treat cards, which would be cool. Okay, anyway, this is Ween, the Great Spirit. So she's Hollow, he's Ween. That makes sense. But Ween is still a hilarious name. Love that. This is a level 4 light zombie, 0 attack, 0 defense, 2 hard ones per turn effects. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can make your opponent choose one of these effects to apply. This card must be face up on the field to activate and resolve. This card gains 800 attack for each zombie in your graveyard. That's another thing to note, is they're not even both fiends. One's fiend, one's zombie, which is tough. I guess the idea is you just play them in with other fiends and zombies, and it feels very Halloween-y built around them as well. Inflict 500 damage to your opponent for each zombie in your graveyard. If this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, special summon a monster from your opponent's graveyard to your field. Again, very underwhelming. Just not good enough. It would have been actually really interesting if they had made these cards low-key a good fiend card, fiend support for fiend just decks in general, and same thing with zombie, because those decks already have a Halloween-y feel. They're creepy. They play, dark monsters, stuff like that already have the vibe a little bit. And then to throw these guys in there would feel like right on par, but unfortunately they're just not going to be good enough to play. Last card here is just called Trick or Treat. Finishing up here, you have both of them hanging out together. So again, artwork's cool, artwork's cute. Normal spell card, add one Hollow, the Great Spirit of Tricks, or Wean, the Great Spirit of Treats from your deck to or graveyard to your hand. Yeah, good card for them if they were good. But yeah, just a cheeky little Halloween archetype, nothing to sneeze at though. Overall, do we have anything else revealed? Oh, we do. Oh, new Arcana Force, of course. Okay, let's start with the Arcana Force before we dive into the rest. Oh my god, there's a bunch. Okay, here we go. Arcana Force, is this 5? V is 5, right? The Hierophant. Level 4 Light Fairy, 15/15. You can discard this card. For the rest of this turn, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects when an Arcana Force monster is summoned to your field. Okay, that could be strong. If this card is summoned, toss a coin. If it's heads, special summon a level 4 lower Arcana Force monster from your deck with a different name from monsters you control and engrave. So that's pretty good. If it's tails, special summon one Arcana Force monster from your deck to your opponent's field. See, that's kind of interesting, though, because sometimes summoning monsters to your opponent's field is really strong, especially if they have some kind of negative effect, which it could, right? You could summon a good one to your field or a bad one to your opponent's field. That may work either way. That's what we've been wanting for Arcana Force, right? Is effects that can kind of be good for you no matter what. The next one is Arcana Force XIX. I don't even know how that works. Whatever. The Sun. What's he look like? He looks insane. I don't even know what I'm looking at. Doesn't work for me. 29/29, level 7 Light Fairy. You can only use the first effect once per turn. If a card that has a coin tossing effect is on the field, you can special this from the hand. Okay, jumps on the field really easily no matter what. If this card is summoned, toss a coin. If it's heads, set one spell that has a coin tossing effect from the deck. If it's tails, destroy all cards in the spell and trap zone. See, these cards are getting better, right? Because either way, these two effects could be good for you, right? Just getting a certain Arcana Force support spell or whatever, coin flipping spell, is a +1 straight up. So that's like fine, obviously. But you could just play this in a way where you haven't played any spell or trap set, or you've only played spell and traps, you actually don't mind being destroyed. So like either way, and then going second, this could just be like a monster that's jumping on the board and then wiping the entire, you know what I mean, board for back row. Like that's decent, right? So I like the direction they're going, and this is the direction they definitely needed. I'm pretty sure all their other monsters, except for like they had like a one weird one in like a Battles of Legend or something a couple years ago, and that card was actually like an interesting card. But outside of that, like I'm pretty sure I read through all the Arcana Force cards, and they are booty cheeks. So hopefully they can save a little bit of it here. All right, this is Arcana Force EX, the Chaos Ruler, level 10 Light Fairy, 33/33. Its materials are 3 Arcana Force monsters with different names. Brutal. Must be special summoned by sending the above cards from either field to the graveyard. Now we're cooking, because this guy up here is summoning them, an Arcana Force guy who could potentially have a negative effect on summon for them. Oh no, but they're probably if effects, so they probably don't have to activate it, but whatever. But you just get to send it. So it's a body is a body for this card. If this card is special summon, toss a coin. If it's heads, special summon a level 10 Arcana Force monster from hand or deck, ignoring its summoning conditions. Okay, not bad. Tails, add one card that has a coin tossing effect from your deck to your hand. Okay. Good either way, right? You're summoning a boss monster straight out of the deck, cheating him out, or you're just searching basically your entire deck. That's win-win, right? Your opponent cannot activate monster effects on the field while light barriers in the field zone. Oh my god, just no monster, you're just skill drained. They can't even activate. It's better than skill drain. Okay, crazy. This card's really strong. We just have to be able to put the bodies on field for it. Very cool. Alright, the Wave of Light. This is a continuous spell. You can only use a third effect once per turn. During your standby phase, if you do not have light barrier in your field zone, toss a coin. If the result is tails, this card's second and third effects are negated until your next standby phase. Okay, so on your standby. So after you go through a whole cycle, if you don't have light barrier, you toss a coin that potentially turns this card off. So you really want to pair this with light barrier. Fairy monster you control gain 300/300. Sure. You can discard one card to add 2 Arcana Force monsters with different names from each other from your deck to your hand. Also, you cannot special summon for the rest of the turn except Arcana Force monsters. That's insane. Ignition effect, once per turn, discard a card to add 2 is insane. because that's a +1, right? You're not giving up. This isn't a normal spell that goes to grave. That's really, really crazy. I would assume 2 Arcana Force monsters has to get you to the fusion, so that's really good. Yeah, this card seems really good. All right, final card, one more spell, Arcana Spread. And honestly, this card mostly matters just because by having this effect, it turns it on in terms of being searchable by any card that searches a card that flips a coin as, like, you know, in its text, right? So searchable off him, searchable off this, you know, go from there. All right, Arcana Spread. This is a normal spell. You can only use one of its 2 effects once per turn and only once that turn. You cannot do both in the same turn. Toss a coin, apply this effect. If Lightbearer is in your field zone, you choose instead. Okay, so that's what I was wondering too, if they would just get an effect that lets you choose. So if you have Lightbearer, you're good. If it's heads, you special summon a level 4 or lower Arcana from your deck. Okay, E-Telly. If it's tails, special summon 1 monster from your graveyard that has a coin tossing effect. Again, like, it's still not even a bad effect no matter which one you get, assuming you just have something in grave. But that's fine. That's, you know what I mean? We'll take that. It's a body. It's if you haven't summoned the fusion yet, it just puts another Arcana Force body, so that way you can make him. That's good. And then in grave, you can banish this card from your grave to add a card from your graveyard to your hand that has a coin tossing effect. I mean, listen, these cards are good. Like some of these cards are just good. They're still not guaranteed to be the exact lines you want every time. But I think they're good. I think they're good overall. So we'll take that. Good for Arcana Force. I don't know if it makes them playable. I don't know what you can even combine with them at this point, but let me know down below if you have ideas. And then for the meat and potatoes here, let's get into Gladiator Beasts here. All right, starting off here, we have this guy. This is not Slave Bear. This cannot be the name. That's not okay. Let's do Test Bear. Test Bear is way better. He's a level 4 Earth Beast, 900 attack, 600 defense. You can only special summon by its first effect, and you can only use its second effect once per turn. If you control a Gladiator Beast monster, special summon from the deck or extra deck, you can special summon this card from the hand. That makes this an okay extender, not a great extender. You'd rather just have this say if you control a Gladiator Beast summon from hand, that way, like, you can just go normal special, right? But, like, you actually have to play to be able to get this card in rotation, rather than just normal summoning any name. So it makes it a mid extender, not a great extender. Just from that first effect, though. But it still does help it get on the field, so that matters. You contribute this card and shuffle 1 Gladiator Beast monster from your hand or face-up field into the deck or extra deck as cost to special summon up to 2 Gladiator Beast monsters from your deck. This is treated as being summoned by a Gladiator Beast monster's effect. So this is supposed to be a modern-day Test Tiger, basically, that can be an extender. This, to me, seems more like a combo piece than anything else. Like, it doesn't really seem like it's a starter. It's not a great extender because you have to get into an extra deck monster or summon from main deck to make him live at all, but, you know, I think he could still see play. It could be a one-of, where it's like, if he's extra searchable by some way, then there could be combos where you go through him, but we'll see. I'm not overwhelmed by that card. Gladiator Beast Magister. This guy is ugly as sin. Can I just say that? Am I allowed to say that? He looks terrible. What's going on with those feet, dog? Those feet are heinous. All right, anyway. Magister, level 3 Earth Beast. This is a level 3 Earth Beast, which I believe has synergy with, like, the, whatever that card is. No, that summons 2s, doesn't it? Rescue Rabbit, Rescue Cat. Is Rescue Cat live for this? I think Rescue Cat is live for this. I don't know. You can only use the 1200, 2000 for the stats. 1000, well, first and second effects, hard once per turn. You can reveal this card and a Gladiator Beast monster in your hand to your opponent. Special summon these 2 monsters. That's pretty good, because it just reveals his cost. You don't give up anything as cost. If they negate him without destroying, you still keep them in hand. It's pretty good. Second effect, if this card is special summoned by the effect of a Gladiator Beast. Oh, he can only reveal a Gladiator Beast. See, the test monsters are awkward as sin. You can't even reveal them together because he's not a Gladiator Beast monster. Unless there is a mistranslation, he's supposed to count as a Glad Beast. It's weird. If this card is special summoned by the effect of a Gladiator Beast, including his own, you can add a Gladiator spell or trap from your deck to your hand. That's nice. That's a good +1, especially since he's pretty easy to just... He extends you and searches on summon. That's a pretty good card. It's not the greatest. You have to have a Gladiator Beast in hand with him, but he's there. At the end of the battle phase in which this card battled, you can return this card to the deck, special summon a Gladiator Beast from your deck. Cool. Classic. That's a good card. I think that's a nice addition to the main deck lineup. All right, new fusion. What do you look like, dude? Okay, wow, he just looks like a... Oh, oh. He's like the eagle guy combined with the lion guy. I don't even remember their names. That's crazy. 3,700 attack also is ginormous with 2,600 defense. Level 12 Dark Beast. Materials are 5 Gladiator Beast monsters. There's no way. Must be special summoned from your extra deck by shuffling the above cards from your field and or graveyard. Okay, graveyard's included here, which is huge. That means you can basically do a Glad Beast combo potentially, and then finish your turn by just going, oh, I'm also going to plop this guy. Because everything I've gone through is in the graveyard now. We made some links, we made some whatever. You know what I mean? They have Test Panther, which is a good link monster. And there's another link down here that I'm seeing, so we'll get to that in a sec. If summoned this way, you can conduct your next battle phase twice. That's spicy. That means even if you summon this first, that means the next turn you get 2 battle phases. Or the turn you summon him going second, if it's main phase 1, that turn you get 2 battle phases. That's really strong. That means even if your opponent's able to dodge effects to make sure you don't get to like resolve attacks and stuff, you just go, okay, second battle phase, and then everybody gets to attack again. That's really cool. That's a really interesting way of like allowing Glad Beasts to resolve their stuff, plus OTKing as well. And even being able to attack, if it does resolve, all the new guys come out, they trigger their effects, get all the pluses there, pop cards, whatever, move cards, go battle phase again, and then tag those cards out for even more. Yeah, that's interesting. That's crazy. Once per turn, if your opponent activates a monster effect, you can activate this effect based on whoever's turn it is. If it's yours, you special summon a Glad Beast from your deck. That's really interesting. Okay. If it's your opponent's, special summon an 11 or lower Glad Beast monster from your extra deck, ignoring its summoning conditions. Oh my god, just cheat out any of the Glad Beasts from extra deck. That's really cool. That's solid, because they actually have some decent endboard pieces now, so you can just cheat that out. This card's strong, man. This card seems pretty good. The question becomes, like, how hard is it really to facilitate 5 Glad Beast names in rotation that, like, you're okay shuffling back, or if ideally all engrave. That's the question. If we can do that, that card seems really nice. All right, new link 2. What are you? What do you look like? Oh, he's like a cool, like, ox guy with one pointy horn. Maybe he's a rhino, but he seems more like an ox. Got more hair than a rhino. Can't tell. This is Gladiator Beast Dareos. Link 2, Earth Beast Warrior Link Effect Monsters. 1,700 attack. This card requires any 2 monsters, including a Glad Beast. That does open the door for some potential other engines to be okay here, right? Just because one body is half the material for a card like this. And you can only use the first effect of this card once per turn. If this card, and I can't remember if Test Panther has a similar material like this, because if that's a decent link too for the archetype as well. If it also is similar in that it half its materials are generic, then like that just opens the door for other engines to be playable here. If this card is link summoned, you can activate this effect. You cannot use monsters as link material for the rest of the turn except Gladiator Beast monsters. Also, special summon 1 level 4 or lower Gladiator Beast monster from your hand or graveyard. Or, if your opponent controls a monster, you can special summon from your deck instead. Second effect, Gladiator Beast monsters you control cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects during your opponent's battle phase. Okay, so not your own, which, it isn't like out of this world crazy, but it does mean if you aren't killing your opponent, leaving this guy on field is not the worst. It means you're going to try to effectively take away your opponent's battle phase because they don't want to battle with a Gladiator Beast that can tag out. But interesting. Also, interesting to note, this restriction, it doesn't keep you from... It doesn't say you can't summon anything. It says you just can't use other monsters as material. Only Glad Beasts. So you can still potentially make some generic links and stuff, which is important still. Okay. I mean, it's a pretty decent engine card, right? It's just a link 2 that summons one. Now, unfortunately, the deck doesn't really have higher link rating monsters, so it's not like we're climbing into anything by reborning, but yeah, I mean, you're just bringing one back. I don't know how amazing this card is, to be honest. I'm honestly just not sure, but it's there, and if you try to play going second, you get hand trapped with 2 monsters on field. You just make this guy summon another one from deck, try to resolve his effect, and keep going from there. So I guess it could be good for like interactive points. All right, last card we have here is a new field spell. This is Flavius Arena of the Gladiator Beast. Field spell, of course. They do need a better field spell. You can only use all 3 of its effects once per turn. You can discard 1 card to add a Gladiator Beast monster from your deck to your hand. That's going to work. Again, does not search your Test Bear or whatever he is up there, which is so cringe. Can't search. I don't think you can search Test Tiger. I don't think you can search Test Bear. These cards are so cringe. Second effect. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can special summon a Glad Beast monster from your deck, and if you do, it cannot be destroyed by battle. Dang, that's kind of wild too. Again, and maybe it's just part of the gimmick of this deck, is this deck is supposed to rule the battle phase. If you're going to beat this deck's is trying to set itself up where it's like, you're not beating us in the battle phase. You need to beat us elsewhere. You need to out-resource us. You need to use really strong removal to take away everything we have, and then go battle phase. But if it's mono-y-mono, you're not winning in the battle phase. That's basically what they're trying to say here. And the third effect, during the end phase, if a Gladiator Beast monster was special summoned from your deck this turn, you can set a Gladiator trap from your deck. That's so free. It's crazy. This is a Gladiator Beast spell or trap. I'm assuming this is searchable off the guy up here. So you can literally use him to summon him and another monster. He can search you the field spell. The field spell can do whatever. I think deck has ways to summon from the deck on turn 1, even if your opponent doesn't have a monster. And then this card just gets you one of the traps for free. I think they have the counter trap. I think they have another trap too. They're not bad cards. They're like fine. You'd probably only play one of your favorite one, but like if you're getting it so for free off of a card like this, that's so cool. It's really cool. All right, cool. I mean, this card is a good searcher, and it's Ignition. And I think Konami's been learning the Ignition ones are even better because it means every turn. You know what I mean? No matter what, even if you end your turn, even if you go back to your next turn with nothing in hand, you're gonna draw for turn. Even if your draw for turn is poopy, you still just get to discard it for whatever Gladiator Beast is the best one for you in that exact situation, and then you go from there. Now, I don't know, that's the other thing too, I don't know if Glad Beasts have any like 1-card combos in that sense, but again, we have this crazy fusion as well, so even on a next turn, as long as we were able to even if we got outclassed and our opponent beat our board, if they beat our board by putting enough Glad Beasts in grave, we may just be able to plop this Chungus on the field and just go back in and go after him. So really important to note. Cool stuff. Like this guy, I don't know if this guy will see play, to be honest, because I'm not sure if he's searchable in the deck, like really at all. But honestly, all of them, this card's a good card. This card's a really good card. This card could be a good card. I don't know the lines. He seems like he could be, but I just don't know the lines well enough. And then this card, maybe the best card of the bunch, honestly. Search every turn, set a free trap on end phase, and your opponent basically never wants to attack you now because you get to E-Telly if they attack you, which is insane, which is really insane. So there you go. Really, really good stuff. Let me know your thoughts down below. I've not played Gladiator Beasts. I've not even messed with them in a long time, so I'm not exactly sure how important or crucial, how well this support really mixes in with what they already have. So let me know your thoughts down below on that. Where are they? Where is Arcana Force? And if you like Trick or Treat, let me know on that as well. Again, I don't know if there's going to be any more reveals or translations here. They just translated Arcana Force while I was making the video. I can't stay here forever. I got to get out of here. Thank you so much for watching, as always, guys. I will bring you another video if more stuff gets translated later. But until then, I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts down below. Subscribe to the channel for more things news from me. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.